Hi friends, it's Kimberly. So yesterday when I was filming my video, when I was painting on these book pages, I discovered something that I want to share with you. And I don't know if this has been done before. I'm sure that it has, but I haven't researched it or anything. So I'm just going to show you what I discovered, and I think that it's pretty neat. So first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint my backgrounds. That's the first thing that I'm going to do. I'm ahead of myself here. So I am going to paint my flowers like I did yesterday. But first I want to get a background on here. Now I discovered with these Artist Loft paints that the second time you use them, they're still pretty moist. I did just use them yesterday. So I added my water, but as you can see today, the paint is, it's a lot wetter today. So I don't think you need to add as much water onto it. It probably dries out, but I did just use them yesterday, so they're still pretty wet. And this is the same background color that I used, so I just need to go lighter on my paint. So I don't necessarily want it as dark as that one, so. Can you get me a paper towel? Let me see what this lighter color looks like. See, it's like I'm kind of in between. I don't want it that light. So I'm probably going to have to do a mixture of the two of them to get the sky color that I want. So I posted those ATCs up, and of course I didn't make enough. They went right away, and then, you know, some of the ladies wanted them that didn't get them, and I always feel bad when that happens. And so there's people that want some of them. And I want everybody that wants one to get one, but I'm getting to the point now to where my time is just extremely limited, and it's going to be even more limited once I start school again with the girls. And so I'm getting to the point where I don't want to spread myself thin, but I don't want to leave people in a position to where, you know, they're unhappy. So I'm going to have to let some things go to where I'm not spreading myself so thin. So right now my main priority obviously are my children and their education. So that's one thing that I won't, you know, that takes priority over everything, is my family. And then everything else will just kind of have to be secondary to that. My second priority right now obviously is this channel. And then I'll get as much done as I can as far as demand for anything beyond the demand for my channel. The other problem that I'm having with ATCs is that I seem to be sending out more than I'm receiving, and that really isn't a big deal to me, but I don't want to continue to send ATCs out to people that aren't fulfilling the swap commitment. Like if I'm continually sending ATCs out to people and they're not sending back to me, you know, I would rather send them out to people that are fulfilling the trade policy. it's not so much, you know, that I do it to receive them back. I mean, I mainly send them out just because I like to send them out. I love to give them to people. But if there's people out there that are just, you know, collecting and not following through with the procedure, with the swap policy of it, you know, then I would rather, you know, give it to people that fulfill that swap policy. Because I like to receive them too. I mean, I like to collect people's art as well. And I think that there are some people out there that are abusing that swap policy. And then there's people that follow through with the swap policy that are missing out. And I also have some ATCs that are sitting in my album that, you know, people don't want, or they haven't considered to trade, that I think are good ATCs. You know, that I'm making ATCs that people find more attractive than the ones that are sitting in my album that I would really like to get rid of, that I may just go ahead and send out in Happy Mail. So, you know, yesterday what I did is I put like the lighter color on the inside and then I lined it. I don't think that it gave that big of an effect as much time as it took to do that, so I'm not going to do it on these ones. So I'm going to just go ahead and dry this, because normally I would probably just let them dry on their own and go get something else done, but since it's a video, I think I'm going to go ahead and dry these. So I think the thing that attracts me so much to this type of paper and watercolors is this chalkiness that the two combined gives off. I just love the chalkiness that the book paper and the watercolor paint creates together. Now, if you feel comfortable enough to not have to draw whatever it is that you're doing on your paper, you don't necessarily have to dry your paper, but I'm not that confident. I feel like I need some guidelines, and I'm not even taking my time doing this. But I just feel like I need the guidelines of an outline here. And so, as you saw yesterday, I only made 2 of these, mainly because so many people have actually done these that I didn't even really think that people, you know, you never know. You never know what people are going to like, what they're going to want to trade. I've made cards that I thought that people were really gonna like, and so I've made a bunch of them, and then, you know, nobody really cares for them and nobody wants to trade them, and so then they just sit in my album and nobody really shows an interest in them. And then I've made cards where I thought that nobody would like them, and then they go right away. So you just never know what people are going to be interested in, and these were one of those cards that was, you know, kind of one of those deals where I didn't know, you know, I liked them and I thought that they were pretty, but I've been in that situation before where I've really liked them, and but I didn't think that they were going to do much just because other people had made them, and I felt, you know, it's been done, and it really wasn't anything special. So I thought about doing these flowers all a bit different, but for time's sake, I'm just basically doing all the same shape on them.
Don't come in. What is it? It's Elsa. Elsa. Oh. I come in a minute.
And they're all a little different, just like in nature.
Is
However, I do think I'm going to give them a bit different. I'm going to do some different colors. Those other ones before I did that darker magenta color. This time I may do some different colors. Really like, let me bring you guys in closer. I had my camera down because I filmed the girls opening Ronnie's package. Okay, I think we're in a good place now. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to start by outlining my petals. So this technique I'm going to try, I do need to get my paint kind of thick on here for this transfer that I'm going to do. So if you're not going to transfer onto a second book page, you can, probably go lighter with your paints, but I want a good transfer, so I am going to put this on rather thick. I need to squirt my purple just a bit. There. And again, I'm using my number 0 brush. I love this brush. This purple looks really good up next to the blue.
Goodbye, Cecil. I have to go too. Well, let me show you, Chicky. Elsa. Chicken. Elsa. Are you going to go too? No. You chicken. Emma. Chicken. I should go and be that after I go. No. You have to remember. No, but you have to expose it. Elsa, the chicken in the roll. Yes, I got really close. Here? Soon, yeah. Soon. After I done with Go Hay. Bye. And my else. See you. You want to
probably get a lot more area with a bigger brush, but I just like this brush so much. It just offers me so much control that it's just hard for me to put this brush down.
Like yours. Where's your skin? This one is on. But this, wait, this is yours. I'm going to take one. No, this is mine. I need it for cast. Wait, no, you tricky. Jago? Yeah, go away. Let's try down. Let's try to your face.
You guys aren't going to have to sit through watching me do all of these. I just want to get a couple of them done with different colors, and then I will show you how to transfer them. Now you can do this on regular paper. I haven't tried it on just regular copy paper or any other type of paper, but I'm sure that it would work. I don't know how well it would work. I know the book paper is real absorbent to the paints, but I know that copy paper is too, possibly not as absorbent. So you would have to try that on your own to see how this method would work on just regular paper. But I know on book paper like this, the paper is so dry and so absorbent to water that this method works, you know, really well on it. So then the center of your flower can be, you know, whatever color that you want. I personally like yellow in the centers, so that's what I'm going to use. I'm going to switch brushes for this.
Bye-bye, tortoise. Wait, I know my tortoise. Oh! Can you grab it? My hands is full, Haley. Hey, go grab it. My hands is full. Okay, open the door. Bye-bye. Hey, what you go to?
And again, I want to put it on here pretty thick. I'm going to stick that back in the water. Clean this brush off, and then I think I'll go in with a darker purple and just fill in these little holes in between my petals. So I had a couple people that actually watched the videos of me making the ATCs, and that gave me such a good feeling when they wanted to trade my ATCs, and they said, I watched you make that. I don't know why, but that just was so special that they actually watched me make the ATCs that they wanted. I don't know. I just think that's cool. They're like, I watched you make that. So I'm gonna let that dry. Let's move on to another one. So that one looks pretty. I like the darker purple in between the petals. Come on, Kim. There we go. Put that one up there. And let's work on this guy. Am I in close enough? Can you guys see? So what color should I do this one? Should we do an orange? Add some water. These paints soak up so much water, so you've got to in order for them not to get chunky, you got to keep it pretty wet on the top of them. I'm going to go in here with a little bit of a lighter orange. They do get a little bit chunky if you don't keep them thinned out. They are very chalky, meaning they do act a lot like chalk. Not real talkative today, guys. So I hope that you can just kind of veg with me, I guess. Just trying to relax today. Trying to map out our week. We have a lot to do. We sold Esther, our trailer, and the lady that came. I told you a little bit about her. She recently moved here from Florida. She left her husband. It was a bad situation. And she's currently staying with her brother. And she has 3 beautiful little children. 2 little boys and a baby girl. The baby is only
Grandma,
4 months old.
look, it changed.
It's pretty. And her brother is going to fix the leak in the trailer that we sold her. And also the floor. The floor needs to be replaced because of the leak. And the roof, it damaged the floor as well, so he's gonna fix all of that for her, which is good, because we would hate for her and her kids to live in that with that damage. And it's not cosmetic damage. Like, there's a little cosmetic damage in the ceiling, but not enough, you know, that you can really even notice it. It just, you know, slopes down a little bit. And it affects it where the dinette slides. It has 2 slides in it. The master bed part slides out in it, and then the master bed and the dinette slides out in it. And so where the slide was for the dinette, it affected that just a little bit, you know, like it rubbed a little bit where the damage was. And so her brothers are gonna fix that. So we were like, you got to have it fixed before you know, live in it. We don't want, you know, to sell it to you if you don't have a way to get it fixed. That's just not right. And so the brother came and looked at it with her, and he assured us that, no, he was definitely, him and his other brother were definitely going to fix it for her. So that made us feel better. And we came down another $400 because she was in so much need, and we just would rather sacrifice that for her and her children. So we just felt so bad for her. We wish that we could have given it to her. So Esther's gone. We might, I don't know. Scott's looking at another trailer, like we need one, like we want one so bad because we wanted to be able to take the girls up to the mountains and go camping. We have a tent, but we're just leery of tent camping because of the wildlife. And safety. reasons. So we might finance our car. We don't have any car payments. We've always saved and paid for our vehicles, and we don't have a car payment, and I don't know what we're gonna do. But anyways, we're gonna go look. But because I need some relaxation in my life, and camping, going up to the mountains is the best day. And my hair is falling out rapidly. Like I've lost, I have a lot of hair. I have fine hair, but I have a lot of it. And I've noticed that when I shower, and I pull my hair back a lot because I really need to go get a haircut, but my hairstyle, and I'm so bad about making an appointment and going and getting it done. I usually go once a year. My hairstylist, she was on maternity leave, and she's back now. And I, want to go see Sarah and get my hair cut, because my hair's getting really long. So I typically just pull it back. There's no sense in it, and I have kind of curly hair, and it's long now, and so I just typically pull it back and put it in a rubber band, not a rubber band, a hair tie. But I've noticed that when I take the hair tie out, that there's a lot of hair on it. And then when I shower and I wash and condition my hair, I notice that my hand has a lot of hair in it. Which, when you have a lot of hair, you lose a lot more hair. It's typical. When you brush your hair, there's quite a bit of hair. But lately, it's been bad. But I have noticed a lot more hair loss. So, that was concerning. I'm like, that's really strange. But the other night, when I took a shower and I washed my hair, it was coming out in clumps. Like, there was a lot of hair. And so I really got freaked out. And it really worried me. And my throat has been really sore, and over on the left, and I just thought it was allergies because I get seasonal allergies. So I can feel, it feels like my gland on the left side of my throat, on my esophagus, is swollen. Well, I just thought it was allergies, and it's painful when I push on it. But I just thought it was due to allergies, and I have this dry cough. You guys have heard it. I just always have this dry cough, and my throat has sounded raspy. My voice has sounded raspy. I hate going to the doctor. I hate it. My doctor knows this. She knows that when I go in there, it's because there is something wrong. I don't just go in there. She knows that when she sees me that there really is something wrong. And so last night I finally sent her an email. And she's on vacation, of course, but her nurse practitioner sent me an email this morning, and because I was like, can I just go in and get blood work? Because the last time, every time I go in, she checks my thyroid. And it was fine. And that was 5 or 6 months ago. And the nurse said, I told her that I had a couple deaths in the family, and just in May I lost my mom, and that there's been a lot of family stress, that I've been under, and it could just be due to stress. But then I told her about my throat, and I also have psoriasis and another autoimmune situation, and so that's concerning as well. and I had a complete hysterectomy back in 2008, and I quit wearing my hormone patch because I quit having symptoms like hot flashes and stuff. And so that could be another reason why my hair is falling out. So there could just be a lot of reasons why. Plus I went through some rapid weight loss recently due to my colitis and then the loss of my mom. So that could be another reason too. So there's just a lot of factors that it could be. So I just wanted to go get my blood drawn. I would rather do that than to go see the doctor. And the nurse practitioner said, no, you really need to make an appointment. So I go in on the 10th. They can't get me in until the 10th. But I'm going to go get my hair cut by Sarah, my stylist, on Wednesday just to get it cut to hopefully get some of this weight off so that hopefully that helps. And so yeah, it's just been really stressful. So if you guys, you know, think about it or have a chance, could you just say a prayer? I know that it seems kind of petty because it's my hair, but the thought of living without hair, you don't really think about it much until you're, you know, being faced with it. But there's worse things in life, definitely. But I hope that it is just stress and it's not, you know, anything else. I pray to God that it's not anything else. Could be a number of things, but okay. So I've got these guys painted, right? The watercolor paint is on there pretty thick, and the reason why I discovered this technique is because I don't like this look. I like it to have more of a watercolor effect, and I like the paper to look more worn. So what I was doing yesterday is trying to get some of the paint off of the page. Okay, so what I did yesterday is I added some water. So I put water on it. I just sprayed it. And yes, it's going to look like I'm ruining it, but just, I need more water in my water bottle. So this is what I did. I sprayed it, right? And I wanted some more water out on the page like this. There's some yellow in there, so it's probably going to look kind of green. So I just blotted some paint out here. This one needs more. See how I have my other sheet laying down there? I want this other sheet to be wet. I just want a big soppy wet mess going on here. Want everything to be wet. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip these ones that I just painted upside down onto this where I want it to transfer. Okay, and I'm going to spray the backs too. And it's very soppy. See, can you hear how soppy that is? Because I want that to transfer. I'm going to move them over, have that transfer again. Now this is the first time trying this since my mistake. I am going to soak some of this water up, because that's a little bit muddier than I would have liked it to be. Let's not get this one as wet. Let's just get it a little bit wet. Okay, let's do it again. I'm just going to dab some of this off. Okay, I'm going to leave this one alone now. I am going to get some of this water. This is kids' finger paint paper. Just gonna rub. See, that's more of the effect that I was going for. Let's actually turn it, see if we can get a whole flower on there. This one still isn't bad. I still like it. Okay. And then see what it did to that, and I'll dry it so that you guys can see how pretty it actually looks. So this third one, remember this is a fourth. This is a fourth print on here. It's not too bad, right? The orange looks kind of muddy, which is expected with orange. All my cords are getting tangled up here. Glue gun's tangled up. Camera cord's tangled up. Okay, let's give these a dry. Okay, I typically would fast forward you guys. I could still fast forward you through that drying time, but I want you to get a realistic aspect of how long that takes to dry this paper, because book page paper gets really, really wet. Now, and I also want you to see that this, you can see this paint literally chalking off. See it on my thumb of this? It is a lot like chalk, which I love. And I don't know if it's because it's cheap watercolor paint. I don't know if it's because of the way that it's reacting to this book page paper. I'm not sure, but I love it. I love that about this paint. And that's why I will buy some more. But do you see it coming off as if it's chalk? People will probably think that I did this with chalks. I mean, it's just coming off of it. So if you wanted to seal this, you could try it. I don't know how, I mean, you would probably want to use a chalk sealer on it. I'm not going to seal it. You know, most ATCs get stored. I mean, I know a lot of people seal their ATCs. I don't, because they're most likely they're going to go into plastic sleeves, and it's not something that's just going to get passed off, you know, passed along. It's going to be in a protective sheet. But look at how beautiful that is. And then once I mount these on some cardstock, they're going to flatten out. But aren't they pretty? How worn the paper looks now. And how that just looks so much like chalk. I love that about them. Okay, you guys, so that's how you did it. Now, I did this for ATCs, right? Because I'm making ATCs. But you could very much just do a full sheet. You could paint on a full book page and then do the same thing. Just flop it over onto another one and do the exact same thing and transfer your image over onto a full sheet, however you wanted to do it. If you wanted to paint a house, if you wanted to paint a couple of flowers or one big flower and transfer it over. These I will probably cut up and use for backgrounds on more ATCs. But however you want to do it, the method would be the same. You're just going to paint whatever you want to paint, or you could even use a stencil and, you know, somehow use a sponge. Use your colors and a sponge and stencil an image on there. And just remember, spray your paper and then lay another paper on it. Spray the back side of that. It gets pretty soppy, and you could probably, just like this, you know, this was the first one I did, and then this was the second one. So you're going to get two different types of images. This one, you know, is the first, and then this one is more like a little ghost print, much like you get off the jelly plate. But I think that it is just awesome, awesome. Now, when I did the other one, I used a magenta flower, and I used the paper. I thought it was so cool that I already used the papers. And then I also did the stripe paper up into ATC sizes because I already used this. And yeah, give it a try, you guys. Please share with me on my community Facebook page if you do this. I would love to see what you create. You can find that page on Facebook by just typing the @ symbol, Faith Unedited XOXO. Link is in the description box below. And you can always find me on Instagram, Twitter. All of those links are down below, but I would love to see what you guys do with this, and let me know what you think, and I would love to see what you create. So thank you guys so much for watching. Have a good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world, and as always, God bless. Bye-bye.